Hey, it's Ellen from Rent Roll Starter here. Today I want to talk to you about the second reason your rent roll might not be growing. So if you felt like you've hit a bit of an income plateau, if you felt like you just can't crack through to the next level in your rent roll growth, then it might be this reason that is preventing you from growing. Stay tuned. Hey, it's Ellen from Rent Roll Starter. Today we're talking about the second reason why your rent roll might not be growing as fast as you'd like. Now, in the last video we talked about how some external factors can impact what's going on in your own rent roll and how to set yourself up to plan for them and to have them have the most minimal impact on your business. But today we're talking about internal factors. So there are things that are going on inside you and inside your business that can impact how fast your rent roll grows. And in fact, today we are talking about you and how you are impacting your rent roll growth. And the challenging thing is that sometimes when our rent roll growth just plateaus, it is because of you. And that's really hard to hear. However, the good news is because it's you, you have total control over this. So I want to talk you through how this works. Now, you might have heard the term self-sabotage, and this might sound a little bit woo-woo for you, but I'm going to go there. Sometimes, as we achieve greater levels of success in our business, something in the back of our mind, in our subconscious, will actually interrupt us and go, oh my goodness, I'm not ready for this. So there's this awesome book by Gay Hendricks called The Big Leap, and I'll link it in the description below. The Big Leap talks about the fact that quite often in business and in life, we achieve a certain level of success and then we can't seem to break through that glass ceiling. We can't seem to get to the next level of success. And Gay Hendricks calls this upper limiting, where we've reached our upper limit and we just can't seem to get any further. And Gay talks about 4 reasons why we hit this upper limit and what we can do about them. So I want to step you through all 4, but I encourage you to get the book and read about it yourself. So here's the first reason. So reason number 1 is that we might feel fundamentally flawed, like internally flawed, and therefore our brain or our subconscious will actually stop us from achieving further success that is greater than whatever flawed level our brain thinks we are at. Reason number 2 is abandonment. Now, sometimes our subconscious can feel like if we achieve too great a level of success, if we achieve rent roll growth that is bigger than our friends, family, or peers have experienced, we might not fit in with that part of our community anymore. And that can result in feeling the fear of abandonment, that our friends group, our family, or our peer group might not accept us anymore. And that's a really deep fear that goes on inside of herd animals, which is what we are. We work best in groups. We are social creatures, and if we get abandoned by our group, that's a pretty terrifying thing. Reason number 3 is more success equals a bigger burden. Now, sometimes our subconscious will go, well, if I achieve this greater level of success in my business, then I'm going to be so much more responsible and have such a big burden compared to when I had a smaller level of success in the past. This is one I fear all the time, and I know that this is an upper limiting issue that I have to break through all the time, because for me, to have greater success can often mean more work, bigger burden. But I forget that greater success means that I can actually get more help to grow and not require that bigger burden. Now, the 4th reason is the crime of outshining. This is a little bit like the second reason. We often, especially in Australia, have this whole tall poppy syndrome, and we don't want to outshine our peers, whether it's our friends, our family, or people in our industry. We often don't want to be bigger, better, brighter, shinier, and so we hold ourselves back from being too successful because out of consideration for everyone else, we don't want to outshine our friends and family. So once you've figured out which of those 4 reasons is causing you to upper limit, I want to step you through a strategy that my coach has taught me to help me break through some of these upper limits. So the first thing I do is once I realize why I am holding myself back, I actually write a list of, if I had all the new business I could ever want and I was as successful as I wanted to be, what is the bad side of that? And then I write down all the reasons why having that level of success, having that level of growth, having that many landlord leads coming in might actually be a bad thing. Now, I know this might be crazy, but for me, quite often it's easy to get to a stage where I feel like the bigger and more successful I get, the more work I have to do. So for every new landlord that I bring in, I can feel like, oh my goodness, that's so much more work. So that's really easy for me to write down because it's like, well, one more new landlord equals this much work each week. So I write down all of the bad things that go with having that level of success. And I know that sounds weird, but go with me on this. Okay, so once I've written down all the reasons why achieving that success might be a bad thing, then I go through and start to question it. Now, my coach actually asks me to write down 100 reasons why achieving this success will be a good thing. So it's doing the opposite, the second list, the other side of that list. And what I find is coming up with 20 reasons, pretty easy. Coming up with 50 reasons, pretty challenging, but 100 reasons is really hard to do. But my coach has always asked me to stick with it and keep writing 100 reasons why achieving this dream and breaking through that upper limit would be a good thing for me. Once you've written 100 reasons, you will be absolutely convinced that going forward and breaking through that upper limit is actually worthwhile. And it does this crazy little thing inside your head where you've got all of these reasons going on in your head, usually subconsciously, that you don't even know about why you can't break through that plateau in your business, why you can't seem to achieve that level of success, why you can't seem to get any more referrals into your business. And that's all going on really subconsciously in the back of your mind. But once you write down a list of all the reasons why you can, you should, and it would be great, that just seems to snap you out of it a bit. It's like doing this exercise consciously almost overrides the subconscious. I don't know why, but it seems to work. Now, once you've got your list, about why achieving this level of success would be bad, and then you've got your list of 100 reasons why it would be good, then it's time to write down your goal in the present tense and write down the reason why this would be a good thing in the present tense. So here's an example. I would write something like this. If I get more clients, then my business will be able to afford to hire more people, and I will now get to work less. So quite often the story that's going on in the back of my mind is that more clients equals more work, and I need to turn that on its head and go, if I get more clients, I can hire more staff, I can outsource more things, I can take on a piece of software that automates things, and therefore more clients equals less work. Now, I encourage you to get the book, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. Make sure you read it or listen to it. That's what I've done. I listen to it on Audible. I highly encourage you to get stuck into that book. Once you have smashed through some of those upper limits, I invite you to take the next step and download my free guide on the 4 steps to total commitment. Because once you've decided on what your upper limits are, once you've broken through those upper limits and you're now moving forward with your goals, your rent roll is no longer plateauing and you need to move forward, you want to stay committed. So make sure you download my free guide on the 4 steps to total commitment. I'll link it below as well. Now, once you finish watching this video, I can't wait to hear from you. Be sure to comment below and let me know, what are your upper limits? What have you realized is holding you back from getting the rent roll growth that you deserve? Can't wait to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.